தமிழ் உள்ளங்களுக்கும் வணக்கம். இது உங்கள் முதலும் நீ முடிவும் நீ. இந்த வீடியோ பார்க்குற நண்பர்கள் இது வரைக்கும் நம்ம சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணலன்னா மறக்காம ரெட் கலர்ல சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பட்டன் இருக்கும், அதை கிளிக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. உங்களோட ஒவ்வொரு சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷனும் எங்களை போன்ற புதிய யூடியூபர்ஸ்க்கு மிகப்பெரிய மோட்டிவேஷனாக இருக்கும். உங்களுக்காக நல்ல நல்ல கண்டென்ட்ல வீடியோ எடுத்து போடுறதுக்கு வாங்க நம்ம இனி வீடியோவில் போகலாம். நீங்க நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, நம்ம தமிழக மக்களால் தலன்னு சல்லியமா அழைக்கப்படும் MS தோனி மற்றும் சின்ன தலன்னு அழைக்கப்படும் சுரேஷ் ரெய்னா அவங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் ஒரே நாளிலே ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அதுவும் நம்ம சென்னையில் வச்சு அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. சென்னை தான் அவங்களுக்கு ரெண்டாவது ஹோம் டவுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க ரெண்டு பேருமே. அதனால தான் அவங்க இங்கே வச்சு அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அவங்க இந்தியன் கிரிக்கெட்டுக்கு செஞ்ச சாதனைகள் மிக அதிகம். அவங்க ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் ஆகிறது நமக்கு ஒரு சின்ன வருத்தத்தை ஏற்படுத்தினாலும் அவங்க செய்த சாதனைகள் கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது நம்ம ஓரளவுக்கு சந்தோஷப்பட்டுக்கலாம். இப்போ நம்ம சின்னத்தல சுரேஷ் ரெய்னா ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட்டை பற்றி நம்ம கோச் ராகுல் டிராவிட் சார் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காரு, அதுக்கப்புறம் டாம் மூடி சார் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காரு, அதுக்கப்புறம் கிரிக்கெட் வர்ணனையாளர் ஹர்ஷா போக்லே என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் இயான் பிஷப் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னு பார்க்கலாம்.
Suresh Raina was, one of those really young, exciting talents who was coming through the Indian system, sort of around in the 2000s, sort of the middle of the 2000, 2004, 2005, playing under 19 cricket and doing exceptionally well. And you could see even at that time that, Suresh was going to be a very, very important player for India. And that's really how it's played out in the last decade and a half, and a lot of the success that India's had in white ball cricket, a lot of the great moments, the great memories that India has had over the last decade and a half. Suresh has been a really, really big part of them. I think his contribution to Indian cricket, especially in the white ball game, has been fantastic. He's a World Cup winner, he's a Champions Trophy winner, and just the fact that he contributed so much on the field. Just his energy, the enthusiasm he brought, the way he raised the standard of fielding. It was one thing you always felt Suresh did all the difficult things for India, batting lower down in the order, when, honestly his numbers could have been a lot better if he had batted higher up in the order, and that has been shown out in the success that he's had for CSK in the IPL, where he bats at number 3 and has an absolutely phenomenal record, and is one of the phenomenal players of the IPL over the last decade or so. But for India, for most part of his career, he batted lower down in the order. He fielded at the difficult positions. He bowled some very handy overs, and always brought a lot to the team. Someone who I will think of as a terrific team man who always gave his best, brought some great energy to the game, and was a very, very skillful batter. I guess he couldn't replicate the success of a debut 100 and couldn't build on that in his test career. But be that as it may, I think his contribution in one-day cricket to India was fantastic, and he was part of a very, very successful Indian one-day team and over the last decade and a half.
Suresh Raina has been an exceptional player for a long period of time for Team India and also for CSK during his time in the IPL. He's a player that every captain really dreams of having in their playing 11.
That's pulled away in fine style by Raina.
He was one of a new generation of Indian players who were outstanding fielders. His agility, his quickness, his willingness to throw himself about in the field, take spectacular catches, make exceptional stops, helped in paving the way to a successful generation.
That's in the air, taken. Very good catch by Suresh Raina.
You asked Jonty Rhodes who he thinks India's best fielder was, and we always think of Yuvraj and Jadeja and KF, and it's amazing why he says Raina, because Raina could field anywhere. He was a very safe catcher in the slips. He was brilliant in the outfield, and just at point he was so bubbly, so full of energy. So he was in a sense a 3-in-1 player.
Edged and out, a stunning catch. Suresh Raina low to his right, takes a beauty.
With the bat, he's a match winner. He's got the ability to manipulate the strike, but he's also got the ability to power hit and take the game away from the opposition and take on specific bowlers at specific times. He's got the maturity and calmness to be able to close games as well, and you just wonder whether he's learnt a lot of that through his time with MS Dhoni.
Back to ball and Dhoni runs.
Very good 100 from Suresh Raina. 100 under pressure.
In T20 cricket, he won so many games and helped to contribute to so many victories for his franchise teams. But perhaps the greatest compliment that I've heard paid to Suresh was from Dwayne Bravo, someone who played alongside him for a long period of time. He said, Suresh Raina is one of the nicest human beings he's ever come across, almost kind to a fault. And that speaks volumes in a high-pressure career where you are loaded by hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Suresh was able to keep a great sense of humility about him. We should remember that.
I think maybe in India, could have done a little bit more because he was among the first players to have 100 in Test cricket, 100 in ODI cricket and 100 in T20 cricket. But he became an outstanding player of cameos. You remember Raina for those fantastic T20 innings. You remember him during the 2011 World Cup coming in at 6 or 7 playing match-turning innings in 20, 30, 40 balls.
Suresh Raina starting to flex his muscles here. Wonderful shot. Suresh Raina getting some priceless runs here for India.
In the IPL, he was a legend. Year upon year upon year in the IPL, Raina was your 400-run bank. At his peak, he was routinely giving you 530, 540, 550 runs a year. To me, Raina of India, fine player. Raina of CSK, something else.